Alright, so I'm here to review The Dark Knight Rises. I saw it at midnight last night, and it was kind of cool because I didn't think I was going to be able to see it at midnight. I was really wanting to, but I had to work it, so I wasn't sure what was going to happen. It turned out that they had an exclusive theater for the employees after the movie, which was after we worked and everything, which is cool because I didn't really have to pay for it, and I worked a long time that day. I worked from 5. I got there at like 5 o'clock, and I worked all the way through the midnight and saw the movie. I just have to say it's great. It's amazing. It's awesome. It's a really great end to this trilogy. It's one of those things that I'd have to say, as a standalone movie, I don't think it would be the best superhero movie, but as a trilogy together, kind of like Back to the Future, if you watch all of them together, it's really just a really satisfying story, and it's all one epic story, and everything comes into full circle, and it's all just so perfectly done. I'm not going to go too much into the actors, or at least the ones that haven't been shown before, or the ones that have been shown before, like Christian Bale and them, because they did awesome. Tom Hardy as Bane was great. I still like the Joker more, but it's just because I like the Joker. It's not because I think the Joker is better than or anything. But I really liked his performance, though. I love Bane's character, and I love how they didn't make him the Bane from Batman and Robin or anything like that. He's very intelligent, very manipulative. He's very menacing. He's one of those guys that comes on the screen and you go, how is Batman going to beat this guy? How is he going to figure this out? Because he's just an unstoppable powerhouse, and there's nothing nobody can do to stop him. And it's really intimidating when you see him. You don't know what he's going to do. You don't know if he's going to kill the guy or if he's going to just let him go. But one thing that was really eerie about his character is the mask makes him sound scarier, but it kind of gives him that Darth Vader feel. But I was expecting him to have a Darth Vader type voice, or like a really low monster type voice, and he didn't have that at all. His voice was maybe slightly lower than mine, and he kind of talks with a higher pitch, optimistic pitch, like he's doing this because it's helping people. He thinks he's the good guy. He thinks what he's doing is saving the world, and when he's talking, it's really scary how he's just so violently and looks like this guy that can talk like the devil. He just has this really, you think he could have this really low monster voice, but it's really just kind of a high British accent voice, and it's really eerie to see. So he did great, and I was really impressed with his performance. Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Jonathan Blake, I think his name is. He's great. I really love his character, and I really love how he's kind of like a Harvey Dent. If Jim Gordon and Harvey Dent had a baby, which just sounds weird, but if they did, that's kind of what this guy would be. He's very optimistic, very hardworking, and he's just a beat cop. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but he plays a major role, and it's cool that I wasn't ashamed of him doing that. And the one problem I do have is if this character is so important, why is he only in this one? But that's kind of just being picky. But Anne Hathaway's Catwoman, I thought, I came to this movie thinking she was going to be the weakest, and she was actually one of the strongest. I was really impressed with her performance. She plays a really great Catwoman, I have to say, and she can kick some ass too. Black Widow, look out! But yeah, it's a really those new characters really introduce really really good take or interesting take on the rest of the cast. They really all just feel like they've been there the whole time, and it's great to see how they're all able to work together and make it fit without it sounding like just there's a bunch of new people in the movie and they're trying to fit in with the other cast. Story-wise, it's really great. A lot of people are saying it's a little slow at the beginning, and I agree, but I disagree because it's like people have been saying, it's more like a Batman Begins than it is a Dark Knight. There's a lot more. The story has to do more with things that happen in Batman Begins than things that happened with the Dark Knight. Even though the Dark Knight has one major plot point that, if it hadn't have happened, this whole movie wouldn't have been able to work, and that is the death of Harvey Dent, and Harvey Dent becoming Two-Face in Dark Knight. If that hadn't have happened, this whole thing probably wouldn't have happened. And so there is one major thing that has to do with the Dark Knight, but the rest is pretty much Batman Begins. And going back to the whole beginning, it's introducing and reintroducing things and showing where they're at. It's been 8 years, so they have a lot to talk about, and I think they did it quite well. And when I first saw, what I thought, or when I first heard of what the story might be, I thought, man, this isn't going to be very. Why is it called The Dark Knight Rises? This isn't very triumphant of a movie with what they're showing, and it turns out very triumphant. I'm not going to spoil the ending, but I will have to say that I'm very happy with where the movie went, and even though that Christopher Nolan has said that he's not making another one and that he's very keen on not having anybody use his universe, he still made it to the point where there's no way that they could really do much more, but they still leave you knowing that in this universe there's a lot of things continuing, and that there's a lot of things that are going to happen, and the future is going to have a lot of interesting things happening. And it's kind of cool to leave it that way. There's one opinion that I'd really like to give out. This is the end of the video anyways. There's one opinion I'd really like to give out, and it's a spoiler. So if you don't want any spoilers, turn it off now. You're not going to miss anything else. But with the ending of the movie, honestly, Jonathan Blake becomes, kind of a main part in the Bat family. Bruce is off, he's retired, and Jonathan Blake finds the Batcave, and he's quit the police force, and he finds the Batcave, and it's a great. When they say this movie all comes in full circle and it's epic, they say that because the whole point of Bruce Wayne in these movies is that it's not that he wants to be Batman, it's the fact that no one else will be. And so he's starting this persona for futures to come, and in the whole movie he's not afraid of death, and I think it's because he realizes that just because he's gone doesn't mean Batman's gone. And he's very, he's just, the whole first movie, he's just saying, I'm making this character for Gotham, and he is. And his whole reasoning was because he wanted there to be a symbol of hope. And it's cool to end it with his journey ending, but another one's beginning. But still, his message has been received, and it's being fulfilled. And it's really a cool way for the first philosophy he talks about in any of the movies is in Batman Begins, and it's that philosophy, and it ends on that philosophy that anybody can be Batman, but he was the only one that was willing to create this character and start it. So I thought that was really cool, and man, I can't wait till this comes out on DVD so I can watch all three in a row, or all three in one day at a time or something, because that would be awesome. But let me know what you thought of the movie. I would really like to see other reviewers review this because I really want to know what you think. But yeah, that's all I got.